What's up, guys? Kunal here of Bulls on Wall Street. I hope everybody's having a wonderful morning. So look, the market is on fire. It has been for quite some time. But what I want to talk to you guys about today is just a portion of the market that I believe is going where your focus should be on, not just for day trades, but also swing trades. One of the things that you've probably noticed in the market is that it gaps up all the time. So when the market gaps up all the time, this is like what's happening. So your watch list will have literally see, this is like before the market even opens, it's at 7%, 5%, 3%, right? Across the board. So these are stocks, I've been watching. They're all overnight have already basically opened up 5%. That's a lot, right? 5% gain. Imagine you get that a couple days in a row. So it's a great day trading market, sure. But you also have to be able to hold some overnights, some swing trades. Even for those of you guys that professionally day trade, right? You can't day trade with all your money. You have to have an IRA, a 401k, some retirement things. So there's always a mix of, long-term and short-term. So IPO stocks have been just red hot. So what I mean by IPO stocks are stocks that are new issues. And so I want to just go over a few that I think are looking really, really good that could just break out. So I run a scan here, and you guys can message me if you want the scan on the TC2000. But I essentially run a scan that's like a 90-day, 30-day, 5-day momentum scan. And one of the things that you see, on this kind of scan, when you're going in and say you do a filter for stocks that are up the most the last 90 days. So you see 3,000%, 258%, 200%, 200%. But what you're starting to see on most of these is the one really, really busting loose are stocks that are new issues. So stocks that are new issues. What I mean by new issue is, this stock just recently came out, right? There's no price action behind here. So I think there's a handful of these that look really poised to break out. I think the first one here, and I'm going to go over DraftKings first because I think this is probably a little bit slower and a little bit safer stock than some of the other ones, which could just go bonkers, but they're going to be they move a little bit more wild. So I think DraftKings, you're right at a sweet spot here. If you take out this trend line here, you probably put a stop under the 90 EMA as long as it's curling up and you catch yourself in a nice breakout. This stock was $10, ran to 45, so 400%. You've got a nice consolidation. A lot of times when we're thinking with the retail mindset, we think if a stock is up X amount that, maybe it's up too much. What you have to always remember with trading is that when you get a good 1 month consolidation after a big run in a stock, that usually will tell you that it's got more room to go because it's actually not pulling back in price, right? It's actually staying in a pretty even keel level. So it's correcting via time instead of via price. The floats on this only 44 million. It's a $2 billion company. I am noticing that kind of $2 to $15 billion market cap seems to be a really good sweet spot in the market right now. Don't ask me why. It's just, there's different things in different markets. So I think DraftKings is, a number one. That's going to be a nice safe one. I think that this VRM, I added this for swing trade yesterday. I think this VRM is looking zesty too. So you see this kind of play all the time where it's you've got this stock. This was a $38 stock. It ran to $58. Now, what you start to see is it'll pull back in IPOs. You see this a lot in IPO stocks. They'll pull back in price and start to hold the lows. And so as they start to hold the lows and they start to curl their way back up, that's when I want to get involved in this thing. And, hopefully I can get this thing back into the 58. I would try, I think maybe 42 to 44 to even maybe a little bit of 45 is probably a good kind of range, with the stop under the bottom, give you a nice RR and take this thing back up into the high. So I think, that's another one. This setup has been working, by the way, quite a bit. What was that? There was another good IPO that started with I just had it on the list here. It started with the D. Just lost my head here, but this type of setup, you're seeing it quite a bit. Let's see if I find this thing. Oh yeah, D-Dog, right? So this is you see this is a similar type of deal, you have this kind of IPO stock, and it'll start to base out, near its lows. And then, right, you start to really bust loose. And before you know it, like you get these like huge trenders. And so you're starting to see like a lot of this kind of, action. And that's the sign of a really hot market. That's a sign of a really hot market. So we want to be a part of this. So watch this VRM. I think this one's got a chance. And then, the last one I want to talk about, I got two more. This ZI, this is Zoom Info Technologies. So it's not Zoom, but Zoom Info Technologies. This thing is $31, went up to 65. Now it's pulled all the way back into the 45 spots. You got nice retracement, 65 to 45, right? You've retraced more than half that move, which is good. Pull back to a support. Now, in this one, you've remounted the 9. You remounted the 9 right now, like you're starting to remount the 9. I think that's really important. You're going to be coming out of this range. So you got like a nice kind of easy level to trade around here. The max pain is, the kind of the bottom of this range, but ideally, like it does hold the 9. You want to give it a little bit of a fudge factor here. This one could be really powerful because the original thrust on it was huge. Going from 32 to 65 is 100% move. Now you're coming back on this. It looks pretty good. And then, you know what? I have mixed feelings on this because I think it's just like, this looks like one of the most epic pumps, but it's really hugging along this 9 EMA here. Like, I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing. You see there's like a level that's starting to build here. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing in this kind of market speed up, get into that kind of like 90, 95, and really get cooking too. So those are 4 that are looking really good. For those of you guys, a lot of you guys day trade with me, but we day trade these, but we also like to swing trade them because when you're day trading, you're taking like $1 gain, $2 gains, but sometimes, especially with so many gaps in the market, you want to have a book of positions overnight too. A lot of these are news and earnings plays also that'll start to show up. I know Paul, my mentor, who runs our swing trade service, he's doing like a very short, like 3-day, 4-day kind of swing trading class for members, and then for anybody that wants to join, it'll be focusing on earnings breakouts, like how to read stocks that have the hot earnings that are starting to come up in July, and then buy those pullbacks and things like that. And so we'll have an IPO component in that too. If you guys have any questions on that, you can just message me or email me kunal@bullson.ws. If you guys have just like any questions, let me know. I'm around. Take care and smash that like button if you're having fun. I appreciate all the support.